Welcome back to Uncle Joe's Garage.
That's right. Welcome, welcome. Christmas in July.
Christmas in July. I just want everyone to know, the viewers to know, it's like 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
It's like 100 degrees.
Yeah.
And I'm drinking hot coffee.
Hot coffee. He actually got me to brew a fresh, hot coffee.
He brews.
So he brews.
He does.
Great book. Today is a little bit different of a video. Now, we've seen some comments. People want to know what's in the garage. So we thought we would take some time today and show you a couple of the vehicles that are in the garage.
A lot of these vehicles are vehicles we grew up working on, so they're personal to us, and we're going to tell you a little bit about the story of those.
I think that's what I'm most excited about. Talk about some of the history and some of the stories.
Absolutely.
If there's anything specific, if you see a vehicle that you're like, oh man, I owned one of those, or like, that's my dream car, or something like that, you want to know some more history
man,
on?
maybe that thing's a piece of crap. I'm just kidding.
Put in the comments below and let us know if there's something more you want to know or you want to see on one of these vehicles. Maybe we do a special one-off video on a specific vehicle or something.
And if
like
this video gets 100,000 views and we get 100,000 followers, we will jump one of these cars off the top of this. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
That would be pretty wild.
We'll think about it.
Jump
you know what?
One. We could jump one.
We could jump one.
We could build a ramp and
like
jump
moderately. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to underhype it at all.
Yeah, no. All right. Without further ado, check out the B-roll. First off the bat is our 1968 El Camino.
So this is not a history channel, okay? But brief history lesson on the El Camino. Essentially, Chevrolet decided, we have this Chevelle, right? Chevelles are super popular and it's a great car. So we're gonna make a Chevelle with a bed in the back. And pretty much, this is how you get an El Camino. You take the front end of the Chevelle, chop it off, throw a bed in the back. Thank you, GM.
This is the big boy. This has got a 396 V8 in it.
Just for easy math, that's one more than 395.
That's the scientific corner coming at you hot.
That's right.
But man, this thing is a lot of fun. Currently, as much as we would love to give you an exhaust note tour, it needs a starter. So we ended up having to push it out here. I got to sit in the air conditioning while Noble pushed it out. But here's a bit of an interior shot for you. 4-speed manual transmission.
So this is one of the ones that we did not restore, and by we I mean we didn't get it prior to restoration. We got it fully restored. It actually is matching numbers. It's a 396 big block Chevrolet, and it came with a 4-speed manual transmission from the factory. So this is a fairly rare bird, and man, 68's a great year, so we like it.
Just gonna give you one more shot of the interior from the driver's side. It's a beautiful car, a lot of fun. We Apologies for no exhaust note. Maybe video in the future we could give you an exhaust tone.
We have a lot of good memories in this car, from drag racing it down some of our local streets. In Mexico. Yeah, that's right. Sorry, YouTube will kill us if we say that we're drag racing cars. One thing that was a problem with this car whenever we got it is all of the brake lines in the rear were running too close to the exhaust, and they were getting hot. The brake fluid was getting hot, it was overheating, and it was actually engaging the brakes. So it had the brakes engaged after it would run for a little while. So we had to reroute some of that and get it fixed, but otherwise it's been a great car.
The last thing we're gonna show you is just a picture of freedom. Right there. Just want you to know the picture of freedom. Next up on the chopping block, this is actually Noble's personal car. He drives it every day. Just kidding. I think that would be wild in today's world. But Noble, talk to us a little bit about this Gran Torino Sport.
Yeah, actually, it is my daily driver. I drive it 300 miles every morning and every night, uphill, both ways. Yeah, it's a 1972 Gran Torino. If you've seen a car like this before, it's probably from the movie Gran Torino with Clint Eastwood. Shout out to that movie, shout out to Clint Eastwood. It's the same year model. It's got a 351 Cleveland in it. It's a 4-bolt main. And it's also a 4-speed manual transmission. So
pop the hood for us, Noble, and show us.
Got this part out.
Just a couple of times, that's all right. Look at that.
So this is one, it certainly didn't look like this, and don't get me wrong, it's not perfect, but it certainly didn't look like this when we got it. Probably the most recent thing I did to it is I replaced the radiator with this aluminum high output radiator, and I got rid of the mechanical fans and switched to like electronic fans that are on a thermostat. So otherwise, man, this has been a great car, starts and runs easy.
Going to give you a bit of an interior shot on the Gran Torino. Got the seats in the rear, the 2 front seats. And the dash, Noble may show us later, but he has swapped this to be a digital gauge clusters. But got your 4-speed manual transmission here. Noble went and got the key.
Yeah, silly me. Silly me. I left my key inside.
Key.
I just a little bit tricky.
A few moments later.
Just like that. Easy. So a lot of these old cars, if you pop the trunk on them, you'll just see all of this is just metal. It's exposed. There's a spare tire in here. It's not very usable. But I love this car, and I wanted to be able to put stuff in the trunk and not feel like it was getting filthy. So I built this out myself, and I carpeted it. And man, it's held up great. It's probably been there for like 3 years, and a lot of fun.
All right, we are gonna give you the first exhaust tone in the garage. Quick startup, let me go around back. is the 1953 Chevrolet 3100. Man, I think that this was probably the start to the collection. This is an OG for sure.
It's definitely an OG. Another one that we bought that was already completely done when we got it. Just beautifully restored by the guy who owned it previously. It's an inline six, which most of these trucks were. I mean, maybe all of them were. Tell us in the comments if you're just like a super
and you know
nerd
more
on
than
this
us.
stuff. And you know, but I'm pretty sure all of these were inline sixes. This is called 3 on the tree. So it's a manual transmission. It has a clutch and you shift it on the tree, kind of like a modern F-150 or something. First gear, second gear, third gear, fourth gear. Actually, there's not a fourth gear. Take that back.
No, there is a fourth gear, and this has a Duramax in it.
Right, I forgot. This is Cummins swapped. I'm just kidding.
We don't have any affiliation with Inside Out Painting Co., but call these people and tell them it's a beautiful truck.
But fun fact about these trucks, and again, not trying to be the History Channel here, these older trucks are 6-volt, as opposed to like a modern vehicle or most of these other vehicles, which are 12-volt. And it doesn't have an alternator. It has a generator. Small differences, but if you ever go to jump it off, it's important to know that.
Here's a little shot of the back side. Got some white wall tires on it. It is a very, very awesome truck. Noah, will you pop the hood for us? Take a look at that inline six.
We took the air filter off of it to move it outside, but very clean engine compartment. Man, these motors were so simple back in the day.
Yeah.
You're about to hear the sound of an inline six roar. Startup, take one. Okay, so this next one is really cool. The story behind it and how we got it is really cool. But it's a 1928 Ford Model A. One of the oldest American classics. This one is beautifully restored. Like I said, the story behind it is really, really cool. It was owned by some guy, it was stolen, the guy was trying to restore it. The police came and confiscated all of the parts, and this guy actually ended up getting it back in pieces, in buckets, and then piecing it all back together, restoring it beautifully. And unfortunately he passed away, but we were able to buy it from their family, and the story of that is just too cool to pass up.
I want to add one more very cool fact, is that these license plates, from the history that I've done going back through, these were license plates from back in the day. These are original old Texas license plates. So very, very cool that you're able to still use those plates today. And it's just absolutely, it's truthfully beautiful. When you look at it, it's like a piece of art.
It is like a piece of art, but at the same time, it's so simple. Take a look at this engine compartment. For one, the hood. I mean, look at how much thought went into this. Look at how cool this is. And this is how the hood is held up.
Rests. It's just so awesome. But look at the stamps. The Ford Motor Company. It is just so cool.
Back in the day, these motors, obviously this is like at the beginning of internal combustion engines, so the motors are super simple. Like, there's no spark plug wires. Although there were spark plugs, these are like straight up metal bars that ran from spark plugs right to the distributor. Another fun fact, which is really interesting about these Model A's, there was no way to advance and retard. I'm not gonna get canceled for saying that. That is the technical term. There was no easy way to advance and retard the spark in these distributors. So rather, the way they did it, on the steering column, there's a lever here and a lever here. This lever on the right side is your idle. You can adjust the idle on your carburetor right here. But this side actually manually adjusts the spark. And as you're driving, if you're at higher RPM, you have to adjust the spark to advance or retard it. Again, don't cancel me for saying retard. To advance or retard it according to how fast you're going and how fast the engine is running. But man, the engine compartment is so clean, so crisp. This is just a beautifully restored Model A, so simple. You learn a lot by just kind of seeing the roots of internal combustion engines and seeing how they work.
There's one more thing I have to say about this, is obviously with all of these cars, anybody that's ever owned a classic car would know that batteries go out or you're constantly working on stuff. Noble and I've been working all day to try to get this video going.
I'm not just sweating because I'm drinking hot coffee in 100-degree weather. It's because we've been working.
It's been a lot. It's been a lot. But I will tell you that this is by far the best running car in the collection. It is nuts how this thing will come and fire up almost immediately with little to no effort. It's just nuts. Now Noble's...
And now, I will say, this thing is like 2 years away from being 100 years old. So that's pretty impressive. Cool thing is, back in the day, obviously no seat belts because, you know, they weren't worried about it back then. But they had ability to put additional people in the back. So this is actually a 4-seater, but this thing folds up when you don't need it. Pretty convenient, pretty cool.
Pretty cool. Look at the wheels. Just so cool. Absolutely. Just such a cool.
Well, Justin, do we want to give them a startup on the...
I think you have to give them a startup. Now, I may get a video from back here, but if you could see Noble's feet, it's a whole dance that you have to do to get this thing going.
It takes all 4 limbs to run this vehicle.
So cool. All right, next we have a 1971 Chevrolet tow truck. Now this is a pretty cool deal. I almost want to call this Tow-Mater because it's kind of what it reminds me of. But this is all still functioning and absolutely works. The tow hooks, all of it works. It is actually very, very cool for being 50 odd years old.
Now this thing didn't look anything like this when we got it. This thing was a pile of pieces and parts when we got it, and we got it fully restored. They were able to get the PTO working, which is all of the towing accessories and all of those things, and they did a beautiful job restoring this. But yeah, you know, 70s models Chevrolet trucks are really popular, but I bet you there's not a lot of people out there that have an old antique tow truck like this.
It's such a cool, and we put a brand new crate motor 350 in this thing, and it sounds epic. It is just so cool. Let's see if we can't go ahead and pop the hood on this thing. So brand new crate motor, a little dusty, but brand new crate motor.
Very clean engine compartment, not a whole lot of wires run all over the place. It's a really well done restoration.
All right, I'm gonna give us a little bit of a startup.
Tow truck. So I'm sure we're gonna get comments in the comment section that say you need rear tires on your tow truck. Okay, here's the deal, bro. Okay, we're working on it. Okay.
Noble, next up is Big Red. Man, talk to us about Big Red. Man, what a story this has been.
Big Red is personal to me. Whenever I was about 8 years old, a friend of ours had this truck. It looked absolutely nothing like this. It needed a lot of love, probably more love than I could give at that age, you know what I mean? And I traded a four-wheeler for it. It was my baby. I put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into it. It still didn't look like this after that. And then I ultimately ended up trading it with my dad for a different car, and he finished up the restoration. But yeah, it's a beautiful truck now, fully restored. Lot of people's dream truck. Brake's not on anymore now.
Just gonna give you a bit of an interior shot here. Awesome bench seat.
What kind of seat?
Bench seat. Just an absolutely beautiful
now,
truck.
Every 8-year-old boy that is working on something like this comes up with crazy ideas, and I came up with a crazy idea. I found this really awesome crate motor online from somebody that builds some like semi-performance 350 Chevy 350 motors, and that was one thing that I got before I got rid of it. This is a crate 350 from Phoenix Engines. I don't even know if they're still in business, to be honest with you, but they did a great job on this motor. It's fit great with this truck, and this has been a great truck for us.
Yeah, it's been an awesome truck. So like I said, here's a bit of a shot from the front. I'll work my way around.
a 1983 CJ8 Scrambler. Which is a Jeep with a truck bed in the back.
Like the Gladiator before the Gladiator.
That's right. This is the pre-Gladiator. This is like what came before gladiators in Greece. It must have been like Trojans or something like that. No, that's a sorry. Anyway, so this is a special edition. There's only one of these in the entire world. There was some meth head in East Texas drew this really weird mural, and it does not exist anywhere else in the world. So if you're really interested
the rarity is unmatched.
Yeah, the rarity is unmatched. It's kind of like the Mona Lisa. You just can't get another one, you know?
So this one, I know that we had put a lift kit on it, gave it some bigger wheels and tires. It's got a winch on it. All around, it's just a very, very, very cool CJ Scrambler with no doors, but it does have the roof. So, and I think it's a 4-speed manual. I'm pretty sure it definitely is. It's a 4-speed manual transmission.
Which is interesting. Most of these Jeeps from the mid-'80s were actually 5-speed manuals. But the person that bought this one requested it from the factory for it to be a 4-speed for whatever reason. If you're a Jeep nerd and you know these things, kind of how that works, leave us a comment down in the comments to tell us how that works. But at least the story we were told from the guy that was kind of messing around on the side here told us that it was requested that way from the factory.
I'm gonna give you a bit of a startup on this one.
All right, Justin, tell us the story on this one, because this is without a doubt Justin's favorite car. It actually spends most of its time in Justin's garage. If it could be in his living room, I'm sure he would totally do that. But unfortunately, his door's not quite wide enough. So Justin, tell us.
This by far is my favorite vehicle in the garage. It is a Jeep 1983 Jeep CJ10. Now, from my understanding, and in the comments section, you can correct me if I'm wrong, they made the CJ10s as like tugs for the Army. But there was a few that were made in Australia that have a truck bed on the back. From my understanding, they were only in Australia. This one, me and a good friend flew to Tasmania and bought it from a gentleman there, and he had done a frame-up restoration on it, and it is the coolest, in my opinion, the coolest Jeep. Just an absolute beautiful interior. It's got a 4-speed manual transmission. The steering wheel, if you're American, the steering wheel is on the wrong side. It is a right-hand drive Jeep. One thing that was pretty cool about these CJ10s is they have a Nissan diesel engine in it. Some of them have a turbo, and I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but it is the Nissan SD33 and the SD33T, depending.
So this one is the SD33T. which is the turbo version of that Nissan diesel. I've kind of done a deep dive into studying these things. But yeah, this one's the turbo. Not only does it just have a turbo, it actually has some upgraded internals as well. These Nissan diesel engines are absolutely bulletproof. You catch a lot of flack from people that are building rock crawler Jeeps and, you know, whatever, that says these Nissan diesels are a little bit sluggish, a little bit slow, even though they have great torque. But our experience with this motor has been great. Seems to have plenty of power, super reliable, and Justin really enjoys driving it around town. So,
all right, well, give us a little bit of a startup on this bad boy.
roll coal, baby.
All right, next up is the 2003, 2004, I can't quite remember, one of those two, Jeep Wrangler Sahara editions. Now, man, let me tell you, growing up, Dad bought this brand new,
2001,
maybe 2001, bought this brand new, and a lot of times it was used to tow behind the family RV, going on vacations and that kind of stuff growing up. But it has been in the family its entire life, and I mean, it is just so clean, so clean. I think, man, I can't remember exactly how many miles it has on it. 43,000 original miles. So just an awesome Jeep.
Funny story about this Jeep. One time whenever we were little kids, me and Justin got the bright idea that we were gonna clean this Jeep for my dad. Just, you know what, we love my dad, want to do just a huge favor for him. So we went and just, like every other kid, we got the wire brushes out of the garage and just came out and started brushing the heck out of it, and it was clean. I mean, we took everything off, including the paint. You know, my dad was really gracious with us, and you know, we probably deserve to be chewed out for that, but I think he was just thankful. It's the thought that counts, you know?
And also, another crazy story, the first and I think only accident I've ever been in my life was in this Jeep, and I was driving down the road and someone was in the lane coming towards me and just immediately turned and cut right in front of me, and I ended up running into the back of them, or running to the side of them rather, and man, that was the first and I think only accident that I've ever been in my life. And I was so shook, but it ended up not being my fault. There was nothing I could do, but anyway, it did end up getting restored. There was some damage on the front end, and it ended up getting restored. And it's like I said, you probably would never even know. Everything's completely just beautiful on this Jeep. So we do have a hard top for it. We've got the soft top. We got almost every accessory like that you could imagine. And through the years, it's just been a very awesome Jeep. So.
I would love to talk to you about this, but truthfully, I don't know anything about this one other than it's a mid-80s model Jeep.
this is one of the very few automatic transmission CJs that we've got. It is a beautiful, beautiful blue color. It has a V8 in it, which is a little bit different than the rest. A lot of them have that inline six, but this one actually has a V8. You want to open that up and show us the...
There was a period of time where Jeep kind of jumped around, where different manufacturers were making Jeeps, and a portion of them were made by AMC. Justin, is this one of the ones made by AMC?
I don't think so. Correct us in the comments, but I don't think that this was an AMC.
Well, there is an easy way to tell. Okay, so update. This is one of the Jeeps made by AMC. It has an AMC 304 V8 in it, which is super interesting. It was only like a couple of year models in there where AMC was putting motors like this into Jeeps. And for whatever reason, we just love those. So this is a pretty clean one and a lot of fun to drive because it's automatic. You don't really have to do anything.
Last little tidbit I forgot to mention is this is a CJ7. Quick little history lesson for you if you didn't know. The CJ7s have a full door like this, and the CJ5s, it actually cuts right here kind of at the wheel well, and it's kind of like it's got a little divot in the door. There's a CJ5 on down that we'll show you in just a minute, but CJ7.
Should we start her up?
Start her up.
Okay, so not gonna get a start of that one. Battery's dead. We're gonna have to fix that. If you guys are worried about it, let us know and we'll make sure and get it. But it's pretty much the same as these other Jeeps.
This is another mid-80s Jeep CJ7. This one has been fully restored. This has got the inline six in it. Man, just a really, really cool 4-speed manual. Really awesome stance. To be honest with you, of the CJs, this is my favorite. I love this green color. It's just beautiful. And the interior, this caramel color with the green, it's just absolutely just beautiful. Just an absolutely awesome Jeep. Can you give us a start up, Noah? All right, next we have the Jeep CJ5. Now, I know we were talking about the differences a second ago. You could see here the body panel goes up and it doesn't actually have a clear space all the way to here for the door. This one's pretty cool, been fully restored. This does have the AMC V6 motor in it, so not the inline. It's got a V6, got a 4-speed manual transmission. This one's really neat. This one we did a frame up restoration on this one. Beautiful blue color.
This tailgate, I always felt like this tailgate was so cool, how it just folds down. There's not, that's not as typical. Maybe it is. I don't know what I'm talking about.
It's just very cool. Just a beautiful, beautiful CJ5. So this one, at the moment, the battery's dead. Otherwise, we would give you a startup, but it is just an awesome CJ.
This is a 1985 Scrambler, which is a CJ8 Scrambler. It is obviously been renamed Scrambled. Growing up, my parents had a bunch of chickens, and this was my mom's chicken feed getter. So my dad, as a gift to my mom, named this one Scrambled rather than Scrambler.
Painted it yellow. He put on the stickers on. Also painted all of this a brown, beautiful brown color. I think that door's locked.
This door doesn't open.
Door doesn't open.
Child lock is on.
So put some awesome wheels and tires on it. And all around, this has just been
very reliable.
Very reliable for what, 15 years maybe?
Yeah.
So we've had this one for quite a while. But just an awesome Jeep. Floor mats, custom interior. Give us a little bit of a start up here. Oh yeah. All right, there's a few that weren't featured outside. And as anybody that has a classic car or multiple classic cars would know, that it is a full-time job keeping up, trying to get them all running. So there's a few that currently aren't running, and we wanted to walk you through a few of those. So first off, we're gonna start with the
1979 Ford Bronco.
This was a frame-up restoration that we did.
We actually found this Bronco in Colorado.
Yeah.
And we threw it on a trailer
and brought it home. So it is just absolutely beautiful. The interior is a little funny. It's got these crazy seats. These were the seats that were in it when we bought it. And I don't know why we never changed them out, but they're kind of crazy. Yeah,
it's the Colorado feel.
It's what, you know, keeps it tied to its roots. But man, it's got a big lift kit on it.
Now this one has a Ford 400, which is a, you know, odd kind of motor. You don't hear much about the Ford 400, but it's actually been a really reliable vehicle. It runs great when it runs. The starter is having trouble on it right now. I think we're gonna have to replace the starter, but otherwise,
you want to show it to us?
Yeah, I do.
At least.
Really do.
Otherwise, this for years has been a very reliable one, but every now and then stuff happens. But it does, what Noble's getting at, it has a huge lift kit on it, big wheels and tires. It is just an awesome Bronco. Let's get a look at that big old Ford 400. Just a big old motor in there.
Big O.
Big O. That's a scientific word.
Big O. That's right.
So. All right, this is another unrestored project, but it is another CJ7. Man, I don't know a lot of the history on this. I think that it's got, that looks to me.
I think it's another one of those AMC 304s.
Yeah, it's exactly what it looks like.
Yeah.
So, we had recently gotten this running, and I think the battery's dead, so just one of those ones. But future restoration, maybe possibly coming soon. And this is a 50s model fire truck. Now, I know what you're thinking. It's not going to put out any fires in its current condition, and that's not just because this wheel is missing.
It's kind of like a three-legged dog.
Right, at the moment. So we do need to put a bed on this thing, but this has been fully restored. If I can't open all this up. But just a really epic old GMC fire truck. So we've got the wheel off being replaced right now. Fun fact about these wheels, and in the comment section, if somebody works on these, I've heard that these specific two-piece wheels are called Widowmakers. So we are off getting this worked on at the moment, but if anyone in the comment section works on these wheels, shoot us a message, because apparently they are very hard to find because of how dangerous that those wheels are. Next up, this is a 40s model Army truck.
Made by General Motors.
Made by General Motors.
It's got an inline 6. And yeah, this is another 6 volt. It's not a 12 volt system. We had this thing fully restored to its original condition. And yeah, my craziest story in this is I was driving it immediately after we had it restored, and I was going down a big hill, and the brakes weren't working, and I didn't know that. So I've had some crazy experiences in this. Luckily, we both made it through it, and we're okay. But yeah.
I just want to show the interior really quick because I think of all of the cars, I think this has actually got the coolest interior. It's the same grain, kind of carries on, but this is just such a cool, like, suede seat.
You know, it is, Justin. The other cool thing is the front windshield, the way that it opens up.
So this probably has more sentimental value.
Yeah, this one's kind of tucked away back in the corner. It's obviously not super easy to move because it would tear the floor all up if we tried to drive it out of here, but it does start and run. This is one of the first John Deere bulldozers that my grandpa ever bought and he started Lindsay Construction, in the mid-40s. And my dad actually found this bulldozer that someone had bought from them, parked out in the woods. It was a rust bucket in parts, and he had this restored in our shop. And it runs, everything functions. But super nostalgic, great family history.
Just an awesome dozer, and it just lives its life in the warehouse back over here. So,
yeah.
John Deere actually did a press release and did a whole article and write-up on this dozer and the history of John Deere and Lindsay Construction at one time. It was an awesome, really, really heartfelt article. So, very cool. So, one of the ones that's a project working on back here, this is a Bugatti replica.
It's actually a Volkswagen, but there was a police officer that started building this, and he actually did all of the work himself by hand and really created this one-of-a-kind Bugatti race car out of all Volkswagen parts. And it's a pretty cool little setup. Motor in the back, like most Volkswagens, and a lot of the same kind of suspension and chassis as one of the VW Bugs. So really cool, unique deal that we found at some auction.
So it's undergoing some overhaul work at the moment. That's why it's not kind of all in the other side of the warehouse, but it's a very, very cool old deal. Now, we talked about the CJ10s earlier. This is an example of the Tug. This is obviously a rough example, but this is a CJ10A Tug with the Nissan SD33 motor in it.
So it's all pulled apart right now because we robbed some parts off of it to fix the SD33T. But yeah, this will eventually be turned into something.
So, very cool. This is a pretty cool CJ5 because it is a limited edition, Levi's edition. The sticker's kind of worn. You can kind of see the remains of it. But this will be a cool restoration project. But a CJ5 Levi's edition. It even has, if you look, like the old, like the Levi's buttons in the seat, which is pretty cool. So on the block to be restored, but it's a very, very cool edition Jeep. There's another CJ5 restoration project. This is a Renegade. So
another AMC 304 V8. Yeah.
Just a very cool CJ5. Speaking of work, we've pulled the motor out of this CJ5, this big lime green CJ5.
So this motor is actually an AMC 401. This Jeep is a 3-speed manual, and this 401 is hopped up. I remember whenever we first got this thing, it's like straight headers down to like side pipes.
Yeah, the side pipes.
It's so loud.
Right here.
It's very powerful. It's honestly a little scary because it's so short wheelbase. Almost feels like it could pop a wheelie. It's a really, really cool Jeep. We actually bought it, didn't do anything to it. We sold it, and the guy that we sold it to ended up selling it back to us a little bit later. So it's back in the family. And now it's undergoing kind of a major overhaul of the motor. But very, very cool Jeep.
All right, this is another VW sand rail, kind of custom build rail job that's got an old VW motor in it. And is it a 4-speed manual? I'm pretty sure. Yeah. 4-speed manual. So it's back here where it's gonna undergo some work here on the front end. We want to swap out some of this, so that's why it's kind of up here in the shop to undergo some work on it. But just a real cool old sand rail. All right, Noble, this one touches a few heartstrings.
Yeah, this is a 1972 FJ Cruiser, FJ40. I always wanted one of these, and I found one online that seemed like a great deal. It needed a little bit of work, but the guy told me that the motor and all was good on it. Turns out that wasn't the truth. So I took it to a shop to get worked on, and while it was there, a tree fell on it and absolutely obliterated the whole back end of it. So it's turned into way more of a project than I originally intended, but I think the plan is, because the motor wasn't any good, to actually do like a Chevy swap, engine swap. We're gonna throw like a Chevy V8 in it and bolt it up to the original transmission, and it'll be a pretty awesome rock crawler Jeep. So
this will be very cool. We have already started filming the disassembly and all of that, so this will be a future video, maybe a series on kind of the build of how this goes, but just a little bit of a sneak peek of a future series that's coming up. So anyway, very cool FJ.